go to John's face. Okay.
Should say make co-host, is it?
There we go.
Maybe make Mike co-host as well. Maybe
I did that. I'm doing
just
that.
so we can let people in if other people are talking.
Okay,
yeah, sounds good. And are there any do's and don'ts? Because
do it well and don't do it badly.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah,
you can ask any questions or say anything.
Sounds great. Perfect. Do you want me to mute myself for the moment?
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
hello, all you beautiful human beings. I was in the Far East a few years ago, and I learned about this idea of namaste. And I don't know whether you know what this means, but it's I acknowledge the divine spark within you, and yeah, we are all as one. So yeah, thank you very much for coming along this morning. We're recording this call. We're a couple of minutes before the half hour, so there's going to be a bit of a preamble, if you like. The recording will be going out probably within the next 24 to 48 hours to everybody that's here and isn't here. And we've got a special guest with us today. One of our Launch You members, who's set up his own business. He's got nothing to do with the affiliate path or e-commerce. He's monetized his passion and his love. Okay, but we'll get into that in a little while. If you're on a computer and your camera's turned off, then you have an opportunity to turn it on by taking your cursor to the bottom left-hand corner of the Zoom window, and you'll see a start video button down there, and that will turn your camera on, and that just makes the whole call a little bit more kind of, interactive and interesting. We'd like to see your happy faces, and there will be an opportunity to come out and ask questions at the end of the call. But in the interim, in the meantime, what I would like you to do very much is please, can Mike or Mitch type something in chat, perhaps, just say hello to everybody. There'll be a little red dot appears on your Zoom window down the bottom there, which will be the chat in a moment. And if you have any questions, you can please type your questions in there, and we will address, we'll do our very best to address all of them. Okay. So yeah, that's good. And how are we doing? It's 10:30, so let's get things rolling. Thank you very much for being here with us today. I think we've got a mix of people. We've got some Modern Wealthy members, and we've got some of our subscribers. So there are people here that have actually bought an introductory program to Launch You. It's kind of a high level overview. It's a cut price experience, if you like. You can have an experience of the community, of the training calls, of what this education is all about. You'll get to know Stuart and how he delivers the training, and there'll be there's even access to something called the 21-day Best Life Blueprint, which is a fabulous tool that you can go through in 3 weeks, and this is going to help you get on your true path. You're going to be given exercises and work to do that will identify an idea that you can monetize that will light you up. Okay, so we've all got a business within us already, but you just may not realize it yet. Okay, so Mitch, I'd like to just hand over to you. Do you want to give the people on the call a little bit of an introduction, who you are and what brought you into this community, please?
For those who don't know me, I'm Mitch. I've been working in here now for a couple of years. I started because I had basically Vicky and I had left my business in London and started running a bed and breakfast out here in Portugal. And what happened is along came our dear friend COVID, and before I knew it, there was no guests and no income. And just on my laptop, day after day losing money. And so then I went online, and curiously enough, I bumped into a man called Mike Jakes, who you can see there today. And I saw his ad about this training, and I went in and joined that training. And I went through the training and built up 3 businesses that I now run online. And so that's my story. I've got 3 different things going online, and each of them earns us an income. So once the guest house got going again, of course, we started that up. But all 3 of the businesses earn a bit of income, and we're doing rather well out of that. So that's my story.
Yeah, very good. Okay, thank you very much, Mitch. And look, Mike, so I know lots of your people will be here today and watching the recording when you send it out. How many subscribers have you got on your list right now?
You mean?
No, sorry, Mike Jakes.
Sorry.
Mike Jakes.
Yeah, I just cut it down. It was about 85,000. It's now about 60,000, I think, on my list.
Yes.
But active students, it was over 800 around the world at one point. Again, I think it's a little less now, but because I scaled my business up very, very quickly. As you know, 5 years ago, I was selling software. I was a burnt out sales exec, flying around the world, earning lots of money, but having no time to live my life and enjoy my money. So I ended up divorced, in debt, looking for something new, found this through an online ad on YouTube, and embraced the training, invested in myself, and the rest is history, as they say. I replaced my multiple 6-figure income very quickly, and I went on to make a roaring success of being an ambassador for this community and this training, and then built a number of other online income streams. Usually people coming to me saying, "Hey, Mike, you're very good at advertising. You're great at doing ads. Can you promote our sleep apnea products? Can you promote our Forex trading platform? Can you promote other products?" Which is what I've been dabbling in, I would say. But still, this is my favorite business of all, because I get to meet people from all around the world, from all different backgrounds, and help them as best I can. Not with the technology, because I'm not technical at all, but just help motivate them and help point them in the right direction and be a signpost for them to get the right training at the right time to hopefully enable them to succeed and make money online as well. So that's a wonderful feeling when you can actually, turn someone around who is, let's say, not very confident in their abilities or their skills, and just watch them grow and blossom and get out of their comfort zone and do things they've never done before, including stepping in front of a camera, maybe, if that's the path they're going down. And you see these people, just grow, and it's really lovely. Not just financially, but they grow as people as well, and that's great. And that's why this, being an ambassador for this training and this community, is still by far my favorite business. And my wife said to me the other day, if we win the lottery, you're still gonna do this, launch pad and this mentors stuff? I said, absolutely. It's not about the money anymore. It's about helping people. It's about getting that really good feeling that you're making a difference in the world. And no matter how much money you've got, you don't get that feeling from that paper stuff. You get that feeling from other people. So, but anyway, hopefully some of my members are here today. I'm Mike Jakes. I've been here 5 years. I've made a roaring success of this, and it's changed my life. And I hope it changes yours too. I really do.
Yeah, I think that's really what this is all about. We talk about starting an online business, but once you understand the concept behind internet marketing, which is putting a message that matters in front of someone that cares, all right, it's that straightforward. There's I don't know whether it was Nietzsche, somebody said they muddy the waters to make them appear deep. Okay, this isn't complicated. All right. And Google and all these other social media platforms, but certainly Google, give us all the tools to do the necessary work up front to put that meaningful message, that solution to a problem in front of exactly the person that needs it. Okay, and that's what you'll be learning here. And when you can do that using media and systems, okay, and when I say media, I'm talking about web pages and maybe video content, a website, emails. So the actual material that we put out online, and systems, okay, which are automated. So if you choose to run an advert on page 1 of Google search, okay, you just set up a campaign in a dashboard that Google give you. It's all, you don't actually pay for these ads to appear on page 1 of Google search. You only pay for them if somebody clicks on them. They're called pay per click, PPC ads. Okay, so it's incredibly simple, but of course there is a learning curve. And what we're gonna do today, we're going to talk to Mike Bramhall, who is somebody that came into this community. I've never met Mike before. We've just seen each other on screen for the first time, sort of one-to-one today. But I'd like to call Mike out, and I'd like to ask him 1 or 2 questions and allow him to tell us his story. And perhaps you folks on this call can relate to this, okay? Because you've probably already got a business inside of you. There'll be something that you love to do or you're good at doing, some knowledge, some specialist knowledge that you have, some passion that you have. Maybe it's just a leisure pursuit or a pastime or a hobby, and you can monetize it. So let's call Mike out and tell us, Mike, just introduce yourself to us, please, and tell us about your life before Launch You.
Great stuff. All right. Morning, everybody. Can everyone hear me okay? That sounds good. Okay. I'm really sorry if I start coughing. I'm just getting over COVID. And I was determined to be back to full health before today's call. I have another confession. I've also never done a conference call before. So I can feel my heart beating quite quickly as well. So if I go off track, steer me back. Is it one question? Is there any way of stopping that beeping when someone joins, or is there no way of doing that? Because I know it might interfere with my brain power. I'm guessing there's no. Don't worry about it if we don't know. It's no.
It's a thing that happens on Zoom. It just pings so everybody in the world know.
You're just so popular that all these people are flooding in. That's all it is.
If there is a way of doing it, we certainly don't know, because we haven't got a clue how technology works. So you lost.
No,
there.
Anyway, so I'm sorry. I will answer your question. Well, for me, I was a teacher. I was a school teacher in a high school, and I was actually really passionate about my job. There are very few, if this makes sense, more fulfilling roles than being able to take young people's lives and have the opportunity to be able to change their lives and be a really positive influence in their lives. And I got that myself from my own music teacher from school. They say some people teach and some people inspire. And this lady was the most inspirational person that I could ever have wished to have met. So my dad just walked through the door as well. Hello. Yeah, I mean, when I first started teaching, it was wonderful. I mean, I wanted to be everything that my music teacher was, and I wanted to be able to just make a difference, as many teachers do. However, the more the job went on, year after year after year, I found that my passion was starting to decrease a little bit. And I think that there's one main reason for that, was that I just became more and more run down and exhausted. I don't know if we have any teachers on the call, but being an educator and a passionate educator, I wanted to be on the front line in the classroom, and there was no more important role to me than teaching and learning and great things happening in the classroom. I was one of those crazy teachers. I used to take the kids to on school tours, take the big choirs to Barcelona and do tours there, Italy, Paris. And I wanted all the fun of being a teacher. But unfortunately, for me personally, I was never very good at the paperwork, and I was never very good at the what I used to call the bureaucratic nonsense. And unfortunately, this got more and more on top of me, and all the things that I considered to be important in teaching were right at the bottom of the pile, because I was bringing home so much marking. I was bringing home exam papers. I was trying to set new government levels that were introduced to us. All the stuff. I remember saying to the deputy head, we've either got time to do it or we've got time to write about it, but there isn't time to do both. And my kids were really suffering because of this, because they never saw their dad. It was like dad comes home from work, and he goes upstairs into the office. He takes all his exam papers. He finishes about maybe 9:30. Takes a break. They're already in bed. And then I'm going back up to the office to go and plan tomorrow's lessons. It just got to the point where I thought, God, my children have aged, and I didn't even notice. And it was like, what is this life? This is not how it was meant to be. And yeah, I think that I was getting more and more swallowed into this system of paperwork and everything that went with the job, and all the fun stuff was kind of being sucked out of me. And that's kind of how it started. And I just got to a point where I was also going through quite a bad relationship breakdown at the time as well, with my wife at the time. And because of the personal implications that were going on in the background, this also affected my professional persona. And I wanted to be this great inspirational person, and I was just losing the will to live, in absolute honesty. One day, I ended up I got to the point where I actually collapsed on the staff room floor. I didn't sort of just go down. I just kind of got down on my knees, and I had this most incredible, intense headache. And I just thought, I actually can't keep up. Something at this point has got to give, because I have a family over here who want their dad. They never see him because he leaves before they get up in the morning, and he's finishing work when they're in bed. This is not living, and this is not the way it was meant to be. So that was a brief story of how it sort of started.
Yeah, so that was your life before Launch You, and so I understand. There was a deal of pain there, for goodness sake, wasn't there?
Oh, it was awful. Because in my world, there was no way out, because I mean, you know, my mum was always very encouraging towards music, as was my dad when I was when I was younger. They knew that I wanted something to do with music and stuff, but my dad had that mentality of, get a government job, get something that's going to keep, you'll get your pension when you're 65, and this sort of thing. And quite traditional parents, really, as well. But for me, it was just, I was stuck in a system that I did not know how to get out of. And I just thought, I'm going to get to that 65, or actually for me, when my pension was going to happen, because I was quite a late starter in teaching. It was going to be something like 71 by the time I could get out the classroom. And the thought of me being able to come in with that passion and energy at 71 years old, I was thinking, I'll never do it. And of course, I'll be living with all this incredible regret, because my children will have grown up. They will have disappeared and got their own lives. And I'll be sat there wondering, how did I miss out on everything?
Yeah. So was there a gradual realization that there was another way, or was there a light bulb moment? I mean, how did you come to settle on reskilling and learning this, learning internet marketing?
Well, alongside the teaching, for me, I've always been a passionate musician as well, and I've got my own outlets, and apart, and there wasn't much time outside of the day job to do anything else. But for me, I ran a little choir, and this little group, it started with about 15 of us singing around a Christmas tree. And this was this was my outlet. And it was a Tuesday night, and it was like whatever happened, I was out of the house. I was doing my little choir on a Tuesday night, and this was just a little bit of it. We all need that little escape, don't we? You know. And for me, this was something that I was always really, really passionate about. I've always loved music. I've always loved making music, and I've always been a huge believer in community music, because I just think that if the NHS could prescribe the most incredible mental well-being for everybody, then everyone should join a choir. But everyone didn't join a choir. We had 15 of us. But it was still great fun, and it was just a bit of release from the day job that just gave me a bit of me time to do my thing. So yeah, and whilst in the day job, obviously I'm getting to that point where I'm slowly getting to that point where if something doesn't change in my career, I'm gonna have to. I don't know what I'm gonna do, and I honestly I just didn't have a clue what to do. So I started to look online at alternative careers. But the problem is with teachers is that we all believe that we don't have any transferable skills. We don't believe we can do anything else other than teach in the classroom, and this it's like we don't realize what we're actually capable of, and everything else. But so I started to look online, and I came across a video. I came across lots of videos actually in the beginning, and they were all people stood in front of green Lamborghinis with like £6 million houses behind them, and I'm thinking skip. Don't want that. But then there was a man called Rob who, and he's a good friend of mine now. He was stood in his living room, and he put his iPhone on his mantelpiece, and he just talked my language, and he just talked about he talked about this digital revolution that's taking place. He talked about all the sort of different changes that are happening, that you know, if you want to find another way of doing things, these ways do exist, and I'm going to show you what they are. So, and I think there was just something really believable about him, because he was in his living room with his iPhone on his mantelpiece. So I thought, and I've said to him many times that I thought your video was really boring compared to other people's, but there was something about your video that made it real. And I thought, right, so I clicked on his video. And to cut a long story short, that sort of took me through to the Launch U, and I started to look about what actually can be possible, and with a great deal of skepticism, I have to be honest. I took it all in, but very, very quickly, and I started to get, I think you've used this phrase before, John, sleepless nights. And I got sleepless nights because I started to dream big. And I've not had that opportunity before. But the biggest dream of all for me was, does this mean I get to spend more time with my family and do the things that I enjoy, and not be a slave to this system that is literally turning me grey and bald? So that was kind of how it started.
Yeah, I think many of us, I certainly came with skepticism, and you know, is this real, and so on and so on. And I think we feel this way about these opportunities perhaps that pop up on the internet, you know. But so the modules that we all have to go through are 60 lessons long. Okay, it's a self-study program, so you can pursue your reskilling, your education at your own pace. You can do it in your spare time. People do this. I mean, you did it around your teaching job, you know. So people fit this in around their life. It's not a race. It's you know, it's something that you need to work through methodically and thoroughly and absorb, and then put the learning into practice. And this is how the education program works. But can you tell us a little bit about your journey through those lessons, your experience of the education, Mike, please?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and where you've ended up.
Yeah, of course. I will
Yeah.
get there. I promise. I go around all these branches, don't I? Just keep me on track. Keep me on track. So yeah, when I started to work through the launch pad, it was like I say, it's like sleepless nights, and I literally felt like the guy who was delivering the program. I felt like he was living with me. I mean, I was playing them in the car when I'm driving. And the first time through, I thought I went through each of the lessons, all the 60 lessons, and that probably it took me a while. It took me a few months just to get through everything and digest everything, because I am quite a slow learner. I'm blessed with adult ADHD, which means that my brain works very, very quickly, and it goes from one thing to the other to the other, and you'll notice it's hard to stay on track when you listen to me. What I wanted to do at first, I thought I'm gonna watch everything and just go through it, and then I'm gonna get to the end, and then I'm gonna make a decision what it is I'm gonna do. And I thought, I remember I had this sort of little dream in the back of my head, thinking, what if, just what if this is actually possible to actually take my little choir and turn this into maybe something a little bit bigger. I wasn't dreaming too big at this point, but I thought, is this possible? So what I did was I went through the launch pad again from scratch, but I was laser focused this time, and I thought, right, I'm going to imagine that my customer are my choir members, and I'm thinking about what have I got to do here to put an offer in front of them that they would really, really enjoy to do, because my beliefs around singing and the importance of community music are so strong that I thought this is where my focus needs to be. So I did, and I went through it, and I think Mike, you've mentioned this before, that it doesn't matter if you're learning to market to a choir member, or you're wanting to sell rainbow colored umbrellas, or whatever it is that we're actually learning how to sell. We're actually learning something here. We're learning how to market. We're learning the skills of how to put the right offer in front of the right person at the right time with the right message. And if we can learn those incredible skills, we can take this into any direction we want. Now, for me, this was about growing a choir. So I started to apply the learning from Launchpad into my own very, very small little business of growing a choir. And I wanted to open another choir. So I found myself a musical director. I found myself a hall, and then I started to apply what I'd learned to start to grow my choir. And the most amazing thing happened. It started to grow. People started to register. I developed something called a landing page that took them through to my emails, and I put this offer in front of people on Facebook, and people started to sign up. And that in itself was just the most incredible thing. I remember thinking, God, somebody signed up to my choir, and I've not gone to approach them in the street. I've not handed them a leaflet or stuck it through the front door that ends up in the bin. I've done this through my laptop, and they've found me through my laptop. And honestly, that was just the most incredible feeling. And what happened over time was that more and more people signed up, and I ended up with a choir of 70 people, and this choir of 70 people all joined through what I'd achieved through my laptop, and the business model is really, really simple. It's a subscription based model where people will pay either a monthly or a quarterly fee to be a member of my choir. So every month money is dropping in, or every quarter, if people want to, there's a bit of a discount for doing the quarterly, but it's a larger amount to deposit, and the money starts to drop in. Now, once I did that with one choir, I thought, right, we've got 2 choirs off the ground now. Now, I won't tell you that step by step of every choir, but what's happened over time, certainly over the last few years, I've been able to rinse and repeat that same process over and over again. We ended up just before COVID, we ended up with around about 230 people in our choirs, which was just wonderful. I mean, this was literally my income of what I was earning as a school teacher. Of course, COVID hit, and everything went wrong. Now my demographic is slightly older, and I'll have to be honest. I'm treading carefully here, but I remember thinking not everyone is going to be able to have the technical proficiency to even get on Zoom, but we managed to keep everyone together through doing some online singing during that time. But then after COVID was over and we were all able to get back singing again in 2021, I then started to really work hard on the marketing and really work hard on putting the right offer in front of the right people. And what's happened, we've managed to get now where we are today, we've now got 14 choirs and we've got a membership of just over 1,000 people. And this is just phenomenal. We in December, I don't know. Do we talk about income? Are we happy to talk about income?
Talk about whatever you like, mate.
All right, okay. In December, I received an email from Go Cardless. And Go Cardless had said that in December you have received 25,000 and something pounds this month. And now I'm not going to say that is just for December. It isn't, because it was actually November and December. But for November and December, we received 25,000 pounds, just over. And I never in my wildest dreams thought that we would be able to make, just over £12,000 months from doing my hobby in music, because everyone's told me throughout my life there's no money in music and you'll never be able to do it. But the point is that it doesn't matter if it's music. It doesn't matter if it's rainbow colored umbrellas. It doesn't matter if you want to sell children's books. It doesn't matter, And the biggest realization for me is that I already had those skills that whilst I was slogging away in the classroom, I already had the skills to be able to build this business, but absolutely no know-how at all of how to go about it. So that's where we are.
Yeah, it's like winning the lottery every month in your world, isn't it now?
Well, the biggest lottery of all, the biggest lottery win of all is that literally, I mean, I work from home. The office is the magic, the headquarters of the choir is literally my sofa. And it means that, I'm there for the kids. It's like, if anyone needs taking to a football match, or my little girl needs running to dancing or whatever else, I don't get to miss out on those things any longer, and that's the biggest win for me, definitely.
Brilliant. Mike Jakes calls it the laptop lifestyle. I do,
and you hear it a lot on online. People talking about freedom, and you think, well, I'm free. I can go where I want and go on holiday when I want, but when you've got a job, or even your own small business that you've physically got to go to, like a sweet shop or whatever, but when you've got a job, you're not free. And it's not until you really do move online and your income comes from your laptop or your phone, that one day you're walking along and you suddenly realize, I can just drop everything and I'm going to fly down to Portugal next week and join Mitch and and John, and it's like, should I go? Shouldn't I go? Yeah, let's do it. Book a flight, done. I don't have to think about anything. I can stay down there as long as I like, although it will turf me out after a few days. But I have the freedom to go wherever I want, to work wherever I want in the world. And I also have the freedom to work as hard as I want on my online businesses and set my income. And I worked really hard to start with and earn a lot. And then I decided I had the freedom to scale back and say, no, I'm not going to be employing lots of people to do stuff for me, the stuff I don't like. I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to scale back to earning more than enough money that I'm comfortable earning. And I'm just going to be back to me running, because I want that freedom of jumping on a plane and flying down to Portugal. So freedom is, is the biggest thing. And I often say as well, I wake up and I wonder what day of the week it is. My wife, walking the dog with the wife this morning, like, what day is it today? I haven't got a clue. I don't care. And it's wonderful not knowing what day of the week it is. And it's not because I'm going senile, I don't think. But even if it is, I don't care, because I'm free. So yeah, once you're earning enough money, the next, you stop worrying about money, worrying about bills, and it's working. Freedom is the biggest benefit of running an online business.
Huge.
Yeah. Just because you're not in jail doesn't mean you're free. Yeah. So Mike. So back to Mike Bramhall. So you're doing
questions coming in there for him.
Yeah, you're doing work that you love. You're getting to spend time with your loved ones now, whereas you weren't before, and you're earning in a month maybe what you were earning in 6 months before. It's just like win-win-win, isn't it? It's an incredible. But whatever, I mean,
It's about five months. It would have taken me just under 5 months to have earned this. And in what I'm now earning in a month, I mean, that's just incredibly ridiculous,
Mike, there's some personal questions coming in here. Can you explain a bit more about how your time is spent, and did you resolve your relationship issues?
Yeah, I mean,
Mike Bramhall.
Thank you for the questions. I like this. So yeah, I mean, the relationships, my marriage did come to an end. I'm still on really good terms with both my children's mum. We have to be, because we're both really devoted parents, and my paternal instinct is particularly strong as well. So I'm very much, I'm day-to-day part of my children's life. That's really, really important to me anyway. And what was the second part of the question? Can't remember.
How do you spend your time? How do you spend your time?
How I spend my time now? I mean, it's the choirs are very much my passion. It was never a case of wanting to just down tools with the choirs. The choirs are still a very strong part of my life, and so therefore I've not taken that sort of route of wanting to do. I don't want to do nothing. I want to build my choirs. So for example, when I first started with Launchpad in December, bearing in mind, in January everyone wants to try something new. It's like going to the gym. People want to join a choir. People want to try all these things new. I managed a few years ago to bring in sort of like maybe 50, 60 people when I first started to join us in January. This year, in the first week of December, over 500 people had signed up to come and join us in January. That was the first week of December. So we've actually got about 750 people who want to join us for a taster session in January, which is absolutely huge, because that's nearly our membership. It's huge.
Mike,
quick
question from me. How do you manage 500 people on a Zoom call singing? How do you know which ones can't sing, which ones can sing? Do you throw them off? I've got hundreds of questions.
Brilliant. Well, the choirs are actual physical choirs. They're not held on Zoom. We did hold them in Zoom during 2020. But like I say, we must have had just a very small amount of people who could actually have the technology skills just to get on Zoom. But what we do is we have I've sourced and found some amazing musical directors who can lead our choirs. And so we've got basically we've got 14 choirs all around the UK now, and we're opening another 4 in January as well. So we're expanding all the time. So yeah, so they're not done over Zoom. They're physical. One of the things that I think we learn as a community of our own was that after COVID times, community matters and people need people. So this idea of bringing people together is just wonderful. It's wonderful. We offer loads of concerts, and the concert opportunities are there. But it's all about what happens in the rehearsal room. For our members, this is all about 90 minutes of time where they just get to switch off from their real life and come and let their hair down if they've got any, and just come and enjoy singing some great songs.
And when you're going global?
Well, you know what? Mitch asked me that the other day. It's so funny because that's the next step, really. What we want to do, we've still got places we want to open around the UK, and there's a lot more to be done here first. My big thing for 2024 is I want to bring everyone together for one great big giant concert. But I've just got to find a venue big enough, and I never thought that would be a problem for me. My biggest problem in life right now is, can I find a venue big enough for all these members?
I can hear Wembley calling. I can hear Wembley.
Yeah, it could be. But I think next would be I think I would like to then break out maybe into some English speaking places in Europe as well, and test the water there next. So, but that's probably one for 2025. I think I've still got a lot to do yet. So, but we're busy expanding, and that's fun.
Just before John does his chat about Launchpad, because you said something to me the other day about you've got the computer systems to do something. You've used AI to teach people music or something like that.
I know. AI's taking over the planet, isn't it? Well, I started to do some investigating, because what I wanted to do was improve our members' experience with the website. So when members can't attend a session, so say for example they're poorly or they've got other commitments on. What I want to be able to do is for them to be able to keep up with what we're learning in the sessions. So what we've managed to do now is we've managed to record all the different vocal parts. So if you belong to a choir, you've got like high ladies, middle, mezzos, and altos, and then you've got the gents. I've managed to use program, an AI, an artificial intelligent program that can actually sing all their parts separately and together and sound like a choir. So then they can just press a button at home and they can follow the music and listen and sing along. And these artificial voices, they work. They're brilliant. They've got this most wonderful vibrato on their voices, and they can sing fantastically, far better than any of us. And they can replicate the sound of the choir, so they can practice at home. So who knew? But I mean, if I had to pay session musicians, I mean, that would cost me thousands and thousands of pounds, whereas artificial intelligent voices, once you bought the package, you could just, I mean, who knew I'd be programming our AI? I mean, and it's an absolute piece of cake. When I say honestly, my grandma could do it.
If there's one skill that you've learned from, Launch You and the training you've been through, all the modules you've been through, is it the technology, understanding how technology could take your passion online, or is it the marketing, being able to attract your customers to your offer? And what is it that you've really learned here? That's
I get it. I get the question.
Success.
The technology is easy. The technology is easy. It's not. In fact, I don't even understand the technology, and nor do I want to. And that's just not my passion. That's not my area of expertise. the technology is done for me. The most, I said it earlier, if you can learn how to put an offer, if that is come and join a choir, come, build your own subscription-based business, or if it's, let's sell rainbow colored umbrellas, or let's, whatever it is that you want to put online, the skills that you've already got, those skills how to do it. It's just a question of doing a bit of deep diving and some serious thinking of what those skills are. Once you've worked out what it is that you're passionate about, that you want to really get involved in, then it's just a case of learning the marketing. And the marketing is absolutely important. That is what has transformed my life. I've learned how to put the right offer in front of the right person with the right message at the right time and where to put it.
Yeah.
And once you learn that skill, then it doesn't matter if you're selling pink flamingos or rainbow colored umbrellas, or you want to open a choir, or you want to go and do something else that's crazy. What it is that you're offering is almost irrelevant here. People might sit on here and think, well, I don't want to open a choir, so why is this guy relevant? It's not about opening a choir. Choir and singing has nothing to do with it. It's my subscription-based business model has been learned through learning how to develop the skill of marketing.
Yeah.
End of. That's
So,
it.
I mean, you can take the skills that you've learned with Launch You now. Once you've scaled your choir business to wherever it is you want to scale it, if you have any free time, if you have any other passions, you could say, right, now I'm going to promote fishing rods because I like to go fishing when I'm not singing, or whatever that passion is, you can now pursue that and see whether you make another successful business because you now know how to market stuff online. Yeah.
I think with the certainly with the Launchpad, and certainly because I am a slow learner, and I do keep saying that, being a slightly slow learner, having that very methodical step-by-step instruction, and it has been a way that has just resonated with me so well. It's been my, I'm a person who needs to see it, and I need to be able to do it, that experiential learning as you go along. That has helped me an awful lot, but
Yeah, so look, I hope that everybody on the call is getting this message loud and clear. Okay, the message here today is that you, every one of you on this call has got a business in you already. Okay, all right, you just may not realize it quite yet. And as Mike Bramhall, our chorister, teacher, businessman, entrepreneur, has just said, it's the product or service is completely irrelevant. Every business needs customers. Okay, every business needs clients, or it needs subscribers. It needs the revenue coming in, which is generated by the people that we serve. And this is the skill that the Launchpad diffuses, teaches you, okay, gives you, right? If you just do the work and work through the lessons. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you what the training program looks like. Okay.
As you get ready to do that, John, the other thing is, there's probably a lot of people sitting here. I remember I was sitting here 5 years ago thinking, I still don't know what it is in me. I still don't know what my passion is. I don't go fishing. I don't go singing. I don't have anything. I'm boring. I'm just a nobody. But there are coaches here as well that will bring that out of you, that will drag that out of you screaming. And you will find something that's like, oh yeah, I am actually into that. I am into animals or whatever. They'll drag it out of you. So that's here as well. If you're still sitting there thinking, I'm still lost.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I know. A lot of us, we think we limit our thinking limits us, doesn't it? Oftentimes, and I think that the attitude to come with is just of an open mind, and just allow the first two modules certainly to percolate down through your grey matter, and you will see the nature of the opportunity. And as Mike Bramhall said, it will give you sleepless nights with excitement, because the magnitude of opportunity is beyond comprehension. That right now there are more than 8 billion human beings on planet Earth, okay, and more than 60% of them are online. So if you do a very quick mental calculation, that's approximately 5,000 million people, 5 billion people are online. And we can put a message in front of every single one of them, very highly targeted. Okay, we can put people in the crosshairs. We can laser target a message with all the tools that Google give us these days, and they're not difficult to use. You know, neither Mitch or Mike Jakes or myself, none of us are techie at all. I resist the technical stuff. You really don't need to be, not that techie. What you need to be able to do, you will learn how to do it by actually doing it. Okay, that's the way that we learn. So anyway, let's go into Launchpad. I'll just have a quick scoot around the training platform to show you what this is all about. So hopefully you can see my screen now. When you open up an account with LaunchU, that's the company name, launchu.com, you will establish an account with your email address and a password that you choose, and you log in to this training platform online. It's accessible through the Chrome browser is preferable, okay? And some of you here are subscribers to our, you know, you're on our lists, or some of you may be Modern Wealthy members, which this is a kind of a cut down, cut price experience of the full membership, if you like, which is what we're going to look at. This is where you need to be. Launchpad is where the modules and the lessons live, and we'll have a look at how this works. Okay, just briefly. So
Hello.
yeah, look, will you all mute yourselves, please? We're going to handle questions after this little presentation. Thank you very much. Okay, so this is what the modules look like. There are 6 of them. Let's just my thing isn't responding very well. Anyway, look, this is module 1, and you'll see there are 10 lessons here, up to lesson 10, and then we go module 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to have a look at some of these lessons.
Hello.
Yeah, please mute yourself, please. So Stuart is going to deliver.
Want to store all of your digital content in this instance, and
okay, so Stuart is going to deliver the 60 lessons. They're all in video format, and you'll find that underneath the lessons we've got these action steps, and we've got reference links, and this is where the work is that you will be required to undertake to do in order to build your digital business. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to empty these items here. This is where we create a checklist. This is your action steps. At the moment this is empty, and you will find that if we go to action steps, we've got these buttons here. And lesson 1, module 1, obviously it's all pretty straightforward stuff. You're going to start off nice and gently, grab a notebook so you can make your own notes, and then you can create a folder on your desktop to store digital content, start working through the study guide. And if we click on these buttons here, you'll find that we create a checklist. And as you work through the lessons, you can put all of your action steps in one place. You may not tick off every action step while you're in that particular lesson. Some of them are going to stay there maybe to the end of the module. Okay, so it's like a pilot's pre-takeoff checklist. You can't go wrong. You don't even need to think. All you do is you put all of your action steps in one place, do the work, okay, and you will create a business. And if we go into 1 or 2 of the other modules here, we're going to in module 2, there's going to be a dive of self-discovery. Okay, so Stuart is going to give you the various tools and exercises to do to determine what it is that you do like doing and don't like doing, what it is that you're good at and maybe not so good at. And the idea is that you can set up a business, as Mike has done with his choir business. You can set up a business that is in alignment with who you are, something that's going to light you up, something that's going to get you excited to jump out of bed in the morning and go to it. Okay. And this is what a wonderful opportunity. It's not just about building an online business. This is an opportunity to kind of get your life in order and to be doing work that you love. Somebody said, if you do work that you love, you'll never work another day again in your life. Okay, so I think that's really important. And as you go through the modules, you'll be guided step by step until we get to module 6, where you're going to learn about. At this point, you will have all of your business will be in place online. Okay, you'll have all the various components connected to each other and functioning. You're going to learn about Google Ads, about Facebook marketing. You'll choose your platform, if you like, to deliver a message that matters. Okay, and we can use the tools that we're given by these search engines and social media platforms to actually target that message and position it in front of exactly the right person. So this is the way that the lessons look. If we go up here to the training calendar, you will find that there are live calls every day of the week, right, with experts. So there are going to be moments perhaps when you might need some help. You might want to jump on a live call with an expert. You might want to ask questions about your website, and you'll find that the training calendar also operates as an archive. So you can jump on the live call if that's possible for you, if you're able, if your time zone and commitments allow. But if not, every single live call is recorded, and the training calendar historically operates as an archive. So here's the recording of this particular call with Martin, who's one of the technical whiz kids that you'll have access to. Okay. Right, let's come out of this. How do we get back? Yeah, so you will also find that as you work through the lessons, you'll find there are padlocks on these lessons here, and it will only be the first lesson that's unlocked and that's accessible. And the way that you move through is to once you've done the work in lesson 1, is you come up here and you click these buttons. This unlocks the next lesson, so you can only go through the lessons sequentially. But also by clicking on these buttons up top, you're informing the company where you are in the journey. Right, so it's not a race. It's not because it's a race or because there's any pressure. It's because there will be moments in the journey where it will be suggested to you. You'll receive an email to jump on the live call. Once you get to module 4 and you're working on your website, for example, that will be the time when you need to know that you have access to an expert on a live call on a weekly basis. Or there'll probably come a moment in module 2 where you're thinking about the different business models and your idea for a business to launch, where you can talk with an employee of the company, a business consultant, and you can talk about the validity of your idea. Okay. So yeah, this is the way the modules work. We've got a little smiley face down here bottom right. This is called the chat bubble, and this is support. So any questions relating to either the training platform itself or your membership, you can address, and you'll get very prompt responses from the support team. And there's much more to the training platform. If I click on the switcher up here, you'll see there are a number of different platforms that you have access to. But I think this is possibly the moment to hand over to Mitch, who might like to just tell us a little bit about some of the learning paths and some of the other resources. I think you can you can share your screen.
I'll try all the technical stuff, you know me. Let's go to share screen here. Okay, it'll just take me a second to get going. I'm not as fast as John clearly is. One of the things that I really liked about it is that there's a section, if you're not, everybody's got different skills. So I'm just opening it up as I go. So you start up getting going, and then you learn what skills you're good at and what things you need help with. So I've got also the same dashboard as John. It's the standard dashboard that everybody gets. And I like this bit here called learning paths. You can see I'm busy going through the whole training again. This time I'm focusing on Facebook ads. So I've been doing YouTube ads for a while, but now I'm focusing on Facebook ads and learning that skill. And then what you can do, there's a section here called learning paths. And there's a whole lot of words. And I think a lot of people see this at first and then forget about it. But if you scroll down, they try to show you, if you're trying to get from A to Z and you've got a difficulty or something you want to understand better, then there's all these modules under here that you got free access to. Personal growth, if you want ideas about what you should do, how to work with WordPress. And the one I've been using a lot, for example, is YouTube marketing and Google marketing. You click on that button, and what the guys at Modern Wealthy have done is they've got a deal with LinkedIn Learning. They've gone through all the training on LinkedIn Learning, and they've taken the 4 best courses on Google Ads. So there's an introduction to Google Ads, there's advanced training on Google Ads, strategies, and then analytics, which is the way of, when you're really professional, I'm not there yet, of looking at what the different responses mean when you get them. And I'll just click in one of these, and you can see they're just such good lessons. You see, there's a guy who just jumps on, and he teaches you everything you need to know about Google Ads. And look at all the lessons that they're going to go through here, how the structure works. Then there's a quiz to make sure you're up to speed, how to get started, define your goals, define your customers. And then there's a quiz, getting your ads going, researching your keywords, targeting with keywords. It's stuff that might seem quite complicated, but look how they just break it down into step by step by step. So you're creating your first ad, you write the ads, you create the keywords, you create the response ad. And each one's just a minute, 4 minutes, 4 minutes, 4 minutes. I just think it's a brilliant system, because you look at the section, writing a great ad takes 4 minutes. You go away and you do the homework, and then you come back, move on to the next section. And that's a way to actually guide you through so much of the learning. And as I say, anything that you think you're not expert on, or if you're not sure how to do, you just come in, find the learning path to tackle what you're thinking about, what you think your issue is, and this is the way you can get past it. So you can see there's one from when you start right through till Instagram, TikTok, Google, Facebook, YouTube, whatever you want to do, they're going to sort out and give you additional training to get through that, which is actually quite brilliant. So I find that enormously useful, and I spend quite a lot of time there. And as I say, that's included in the course, in the basic course. It's not additional.
Yeah, very good. Okay, I mean, I think the point is you get everything. You get guided click by click lessons. You get taken through a process, even as a complete newbie that doesn't have an idea of what business that they might launch. The program will help you discover that for yourself and kind of get on your true path, if you like, which is hugely liberating. After having done mundane and boring and unhealthy work and underpaid work in the past, it's our work is such a big portion of our life that it affects and can bugger up the rest of your life, actually. So so once you've got work that you're kind of lit up by, then all of a sudden just life in general becomes a lot more fun. So Mike Jakes, do you have anything to add to the Launchpad program?
Only that there's so much training there. In my opinion, there's too much, but then they have to put all the training there because obviously the variety of people that come here, people with no skills at all. Some people have already got marketing skills. Some people are very technical. They've got to cater for all sorts of backgrounds, people from all over the world, every experience in the world. So one of the hardest things I remember is navigating or being guided to what do I need next? What do I need, me personally? What do I need next? And obviously that's a different answer for each individual. And that's where the community comes in. There are coaches here that you can hire to guide you through, but also the community is utterly amazing because it's you and a laptop and no one else trying to build this thing from scratch when you first start, and it can be bloody lonely. So it's just nice to be plugged into a community, and there are two platforms here. There's Mentors, which is like a private portal where we can all talk to each other. And then there's a Facebook community as well, if you're into Facebook and you want to plug into the community that way. And it's just utterly brilliant when you're stuck and you're pulling your hair out and you just don't know what to do because you can't move forward. And you can just ask the community. And there's also technical support as well. Obviously, they'll help. That's what they're paid to do. But the community usually is the right way to go because someone would have been where you are, stuck, frustrated, and they broke through. And they were always happy to reach back and help you. And by the way, you'll be expected to do the same. When you move forward, when you start to become successful, then you owe a debt of, to the people coming in behind you to say, hey, a bit of encouragement. This is what you need to do. Keep moving forward. And I just think it's so undervalued. We all talk about the value of the training and the value of this and the value of getting mentored and guided. But the community itself is just really what separates this training apart from other stuff you see online is the community.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to come back to you in a second, Mike, and I'm going to put a question to you that's popped up in chat, but I'm going to answer it in my own way first, if you don't mind. So this is Jane, and she said she's a human resources strategist and career coach, and her question is very simple: is it not easier employing a marketer? Okay. So yeah, well, of course it is. It's one response to that. But let me tell you, I've just recently moved to Spain, and I've met a lot of new people here, including twin sisters, okay, in their late 50s, and one of them works for a global organisation, and she's a career guidance counsellor working in corporate, and she doesn't like her boss, and she doesn't like the environment in which she works, and she wishes she had her own clients. And were that the case, she would quit her job and she would work from home or wherever she chose to work from a laptop and do all of her calls over Zoom. Okay. Her sister is a professional photographer and she's always broke. Right? She's never got enough clients. Right? She's never got enough work. And it kind of doesn't really matter whether you're in corporate with a horrible job and you want to quit, or you're a professional individual without enough business. What we need to be able to do in any business to survive in business or survive on our own is client acquisition. We need to find the clients. We need to win business. Okay. That's common to every single business out there. Okay, the art, the skill, the science of winning customers. All right, and that's what this education is all about. And if you can afford to employ a marketer or a marketing agency, by all means do so. But the point is, it's an absolute essential component of any business. And if you can learn it, if you can learn the skills yourself, and you learn the skills here within months. It took me 5 months. I mean, nowadays, Stuart talks about 90 days or 8 to 12 weeks. Within 3 months, you can learn how to acquire clients on auto using systems. okay, using automation. This is the beauty of this. It's not just about, you know, setting up a business. It's about automating your income so that you can you can design a new lifestyle. That's what this is really about. Now, this is, Mike was on here earlier on, he was talking about he can now spend time with his family, with his kids. Like, he's got time on his hands now. He's doing work that he loves, and he's earning a multiple of what he earned previously. You know, life just became fantastic for Mike, didn't it? And it's possible for everybody on this call, okay, with this skill. You just need to be able to understand how to put a message that matters in front of somebody that cares, in front of somebody that will benefit. Okay, and you've cracked it. You've just future-proofed your life. All right. So I'd like to ask Mike Jakes that question. Is it not easier employing a marketer? I wonder how you'd respond to that, Mike.
I did respond in the comments, but
okay.
I'd respond slightly differently in that you've sort of touched on it. It doesn't matter what it is you want to sell online here, whether it's physical products, whether it's services, whether it's advice. You know, maybe you've had a really hard life and you've been through knocks and you want to share your experiences and how you survived that path. But whatever it is, whatever the product is, the value that you're going to be delivering to people, physical or virtual, there's one thing that separates the two types of businesses that are online: the ones that fail and don't succeed, and the ones that succeed and scale and do really well. It's marketing. Yeah, you can spend thousands and thousands of pounds having the most beautiful website ever created built for you. You could have the most incredible products on that website at really, really aggressive pricing. No one will come. No one, unless by accident. But it's like it's the opposite to the field of dreams. Build it, they will come. Oh no, they bloody won't. They will not come. So the difference between a successful online business and one that is not successful is getting those people to come to your website, marketing. And they be the right type of people that are likely to buy the products and services that you're promoting on your website or someone else's website if you decide to promote someone else's products. Because maybe you're like me and you don't have any products and you're not smart enough to have any good ideas. So sell someone else's products and get paid for doing that, which is what I've made a living out of doing for the last 5 years. But if I didn't learn the marketing skill, however good those products are that I found or people have come and asked me to promote, I wouldn't be able to sell them because I don't have a marketing skill. I learned the marketing skill here. This is what this entire training platform is about. All the training you see, all the coaching that's here, everything that's here, the technical stuff, it all leads to one lesson: online marketing. It's the secret sauce. It's the secret sauce that's going to change your life. If you learn that skill, you are made for life, period. That's how I'd answer that question, John.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, Mitch, what that's brilliant. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, Mitch, what have you got anything coming up in chat? Got anything to add?
I'm just answering a gentleman. Barry's asking me a bunch of questions. I'm trying to keep up with Barry. That's all right. But I just one of the questions I've typed into somebody is just the only thing we haven't mentioned, I think, is the 90-day challenge that's coming up. And that's I'm going to join that. I think quite a few people are joining that because Stuart's running a 90-day challenge that anybody in Modern Wealthy can join in. And he just helps you gather everything together and get going. So it's a good place to start. So if you're new and you want to get going, just remember to look on your site. There's a 90-day challenge that Stuart's starting on the 4th of January. And that helps you just to pile in and really commit for 90 days. You know, instead of, or as well as deciding you're going to go to the gym this year or lose weight this year or whatever you want to do. That's just a system for putting it all together into one place. So I'll be on that and see any of you folks in there who might be joining. But that's all I've got to add. Just to say to Barry, I'm typing as fast as I can. If I'm missing out any answers to your questions, just shoot me an email, and then I can answer you without so much pressure.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay, well, we've run over an hour. We're an hour and 10 or so at the moment. So now is the time to get your questions in, if you have any remaining. Somebody's asked, where am I in Spain? I'm on the Costa Blanca. I'm between Valencia and Alicante on the coast. I don't know whether that helps. It's 300 days of sunshine a year here. Blue skies and palm trees most of the year. Does get a little bit too hot in the middle of the summer, actually. So that's the time when I'm going to pack my laptop up and clear off somewhere a little bit cooler, maybe Northern Europe. How many hours a day is recommended? So in the training, I think just as long as you're consistent, I think if you do 30 minutes a day, you'll be keeping the wheels turning. Okay, if you do an hour a day, and you do an hour a day for just 5 days of the week, right? That's 260 hours in a year. And 260 hours is the same as 6.5 40-hour work weeks. 6.5 40-hour work weeks if you do 1 hour a day and you get weekends off. Imagine how far ahead you will be this time next year. Without a shadow of a doubt, you will have a business launched, right? And you've got all the help. I cannot guarantee it will be profitable. We're not allowed to make income claims. It's illegal. Can't do that. Okay. But if you're not profitable in that time, you're not paying attention to the training. Okay, that's what I would say. So
something else I can add to that, John, in that, you know, another observation that hit me a while ago was that it took me 35 years to get to where I was in my sales career, my corporate career, and the money that I was earning, but I didn't have any time to enjoy the money. And I lost it all and ended up divorced. I lost my kids, my house, my wife. I lost the whole bloody lot because I was working too hard, flying around the world, wining and dining with customers, etc., living the jet set lifestyle. That wasn't a lifestyle at all. When I came here, it took me roughly 6 months to get to, maybe 9, but 6 to 9 months to get to where it took me 30 years of slogging my guts out earning. Yeah. And when I reached that earning capacity, I now had all the time in the world. It was me in this office, or me working from the Caribbean, America, working in Spain, working wherever I wanted to, working a fraction of the amount of hours that I used to work, and having all the time in the world and earning what I was earning, selling my life down the corporate rat race. So it's a good investment, guys. You know, 6 months, 9 months, a year, even if it's going to change your life, by God, it's worth it. It really is. If you can get to where we are and have that freedom to be able to earn money from your laptop, is incredibly empowering. So yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay, thanks. All right. So look, Morgan, you've got your hand up there. You need to unmute yourself, please, sir. Go down to the bottom left of the screen. That's it. That's it. Come on out and talk to us.
Okay. I don't know the time, but good morning, everyone. I'm speaking from Ghana. Yeah. Honestly, I joined late, so I am not able to catch up with what you guys are saying. But just want to say this, that I had a small business I run. Somebody just duped me and I've created my business. So I'm really much interested in this, but I'm finding it difficult to get the growth of what you guys are discussing. So I don't know, probably after the video, there is a link or an email, somebody I can communicate to give me the, proper, for me to get a better understanding of it and be able to sign on to it, because I'm very much interested. I want to do it and be able to make life meaningful for myself and my family.
Yeah, good. Okay,
So
that's brilliant. Yeah, brilliant. Thank you for coming out. Which one of us is it that you're receiving emails from, Morgan? Is it Mitch or Mike, Jakes, or myself? Do you know?
I think, let me quickly check. I think it's Mitch.
Mitch, okay. All right, that's good. Okay. Okay, well, Mitch will be in touch with you after the call, I'm sure, or you can be in touch with Mitch. Drop him an email.
Pick your email in the chat, Morgan, and I'll pick it up from there.
Okay.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Happy New Year, Morgan. Thanks for coming out.
And many happy New Year to you.
Okay. All right, good. Is it what else? What else, guys? Because we're running out of time. Yeah, there'll be a recording coming out. Thanks, mentoring. Can we? Yeah, AI. You'll learn how to use AI. I mean, we all use AI now. You know, to write stuff and to edit video and all sorts. So yeah, that's something that you'll get into. That's not really what this call is about today. You know, we can't go into the steps in the training. It's just to open up a window and to, you know, open up doors and turn on lights for you guys and show you that you have options. Okay, you all have options. It doesn't matter whether you're 70 years old. I see somebody wrote that in the case. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter how old you are. It's totally irrelevant.
I'd like to say, I think the more mature students that we work with here, I mean, us three included, none of us are spring chickens. But the more mature students we work with here are more likely to succeed than some young 20-year-old who hasn't had any life experiences. They've probably got a better grasp of the technology, but they have less to offer as a person, you know, and that makes a massive difference. If you are a mature student like us three, then you've got more chance of succeeding. So age, you know, if you think of the higher the number is against you, you're wrong. It's the opposite way around. It really is.
Good. All right. So look, Amar Matthias, do you want to unmute and just come out quickly, please? Can you unmute yourself, please, Amar? No, not unmuting. Okay, we've got a hand up, but we've got no voice. So, yeah, so Andrew Gabriel's typed, how do we choose which product service that we give the profits for the same, right? So in module 2 of Launchpad, you'll be given the various exercises and tools and the practical work to do to discover the business that you're going to establish and launch. All right, you'll be given all of that in the modules. There are 60 lessons in the modules. We can't go into those lessons on this call. That's not what this is about. Okay, you have to come into the training. There's a 30-day money back guarantee with the training, so there's zero risk. All right, if you're interested in this, if you're on the fence, I would jump in, because you know in 4 weeks' time you can have all your money back if it isn't for you. Right, that's the only way really that you will ever know this is for you. It's to experience it for yourself. You can read reviews online, you can listen to us, you can, you know, there'll be positive reviews and negative reviews. People will quit, people will go on to become a millionaire. All right, the only way you will ever know is to have the experience for yourself. So how are we doing, guys? Mitch and Mike?
Good. I think we've got everything covered in chat thus far. I think we're just about keeping up, us three old codgers. Yeah.
All right.
And there'll be a recording of this call. So if there's stuff you want to go over again, then there'll be a recording. And also, when you get that link to the recording, obviously you've got our email addresses, so you can, if you've got other questions you need to ask via email, just respond to those emails with a recording, and we'll be answering your questions directly. Yeah.
Very good, thank you, Mike. And Mitch, do you want to just wrap it all up?
Yeah, and more questions are coming in. But as Mike said, the best thing to do, bear in mind these two things. Within a day, we'll send this recording out to everybody, even the people who've come in right at the last minute, because I see Lowell has just joined us now as we're shutting. So we will send the recording out to everybody, and you'll be able to watch it again. And if there's something that you want clarity on, just send an email to myself or John or Mike, and just ask the question and we'll get back to you. Remember, though, that this isn't our program. We don't work for Modern Wealthy. We're just three blokes who've done the work on Modern Wealthy and are now earning a living online. So if you have a question, just send it to one of us and we'll get back to you. And that's all my questions. I mean, all my answers to my questions. I just see we're coming towards the end of time, John, so we might have to just wrap up.
Yeah, very good. Okay, that's it. That's a wrap. Happy New Year, folks. Over and out.
Have a great 2024, guys. See you on the other side.
We'll actually be back tomorrow.
Yes, we
Right.
do. Yes, we
Look
have.
out for the link. Look out for the link. If you've still got questions, you can join us tomorrow. There'll be another invitation coming out. Okay.
At the end of the day. Yeah.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye bye.
Cheers, hey.